like, subscribe, and comment.
Perfect. There's our starting point of our video.
All right, you guys. Here we go. It is Tuesday, and we have a practice first test session on Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit of Thursday to get this all completely done and ready to go test. This right front brake, it is locking up. We don't know why, so I'm going to pull this apart and I'm going to go get another brake caliper and just throw a reman one on there because I'm not going to deal with having that as an issue on our first day out. So, because as you can see with this one, not locking. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Tori and I are going to work on bleeding the clutch today, and there's a bunch of other little things. Tomorrow will be a big day. Tomorrow we will tune the carb up, tune the motor up, get it ready for Thursday, and then we will do a full nut and bolt and square the rear end and scale the car. Get our baseline alignment done on the car and go out and test it and see how it feels, and then make our adjustments as we need to as we're driving. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and that's what we're working on today.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Bled for the 69th time.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Had some issues with the caliper fittings. Don't know if that was talked about, but hopefully we got them figured out, right?
Yep.
Next up is the clutch, I think.
All right. Clutch is bled. We've got pedal pressure now. So now we just have to go and adjust the stop once we have the car running and make sure it's actually working. And I got the caliper, the first coat on the caliper. And I just read the can and it says, definitely says let it cure for like 7 hours.
Oh.
So,
that ain't gonna happen.
yeah, heat gun.
Heat gun for sure.
Tori's over here pumping it up.
Pump it up. Dude, 5 gallons on the tits.
On the titties?
You know, cheap gas around here these days, some VP 110.
Yeah, it's super cheap, right?
Yeah, but you're lucky.
I was going to ask you about this, how we were going to keep track, and then I saw it. I was like, dude, he's ahead of the game. Look at him. Big brain. But I thought you put more than 5 gallons in.
5.
Okay. Watching you. So we got some 110 going in, which is good because we want that in there when we do our carb tune tomorrow.
Yeah.
So hopefully we still have close to 5-ish gallons in there.
Oh, you didn't run that much. It
Didn't
doesn't
run
burn
too much.
just idling.
Yeah. So yeah. Are we just gonna like actually top it off with 110, even if it's a little more than 5, or just throw 5 in?
We should have it at 10 gallons for when we scale, so it'll be right at 10 gallons, so it'll be full.
Okay.
All right, little quick test on the clutch, and then setting the clutch stop, which
It might be kind of hard to just do, but we'll figure it out.
I was just gonna say you're not gonna be able to do it while you're sitting in there like that, are you?
No, yeah, I'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, good. Clutch in. Keep going. Oh.
So we need less.
Well, I might have to put the camera down and like really. Let's try it one more time. So I can use 2 hands. So.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Slowly go down on the clutch.
Okay. I'm at the stop.
Yep, nothing.
Okay. See, it doesn't return all the way though. It's kind of weird.
It's got that little bit of play.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
All right, so I got this caliper all painted. It's good to go. It's good enough. Not perfect, but these ones got a lot more coats on them because we weren't in a rush. But I'm in a little bit of a time crunch, so I'm not going to sit here and watch paint dry right now. But it's coated enough to where it won't get nasty in the weather or anything. So I'm going to start taking this one off, and I'm going to have to pop this line here, and hopefully I don't lose a bunch of fluid while I do this, and then pull this caliper. So we're going to get started on that. and leave this bracket on. And what I'll do is I will just return my core back with their good calipers, so hopefully they don't get too angry, or they're good, I should say, caliper bracket. Sorry, this one's already red. It's already on there. I'm not gonna do it again, so oh well. Same but different. So yeah, gonna get that pulled apart. This is about ready. It's a little soft, but should be able to throw it on there without any problems. But
All right. Little puddle right there that we just wiped up. It's the next day. It's Wednesday, and Carlton's first track day is tomorrow. So we're jumping back on this, but we just got out here for the day, and there's some clutch fluid coming out. So now we gotta try to figure out where it's coming from. Somewhere inside by the pedal box, probably that fitting there.
it's all over the master.
All over the master. Oh yeah, it's quite a bit.
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
I'll say it. One thing is Carlton forgot to tighten the 90-degree fitting. You know, when you're building the car and you gotta tighten thousands of things before you get ready, sometimes you miss stuff. Not a big deal. This one time Carlton missed this. But it's okay. We're good. We're good.
Not the first, and let's hope it's the last, because everything else got tightened again.
Yeah.
So
Do you know if the other Dash 3 fittings, I know they're not leaking, but did those get goop on them or no? Thread sealant?
which are the ones? The other ones are banjos.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
Those are tight.
Yes, we know.
All
right.
I put those in like not too long ago.
Before this?
Yeah.
After that? Okay. Goop it up, toss it on, toss it in. A little bit bleeding again. We'll be done. Alrighty. Got the fitting out and tightened her up a little bit tighter than it was before. Got it gooped up a little bit and it should be good to go. Carlton's just putting it back together right now. And we'll bleed the clutch again.
It's back together.
Oh. So just on the throttle pedal, because that's one issue that we had before. Have you done it yet? No? So he's taking it apart, but basically if this was the throttle, for him to go from completely closed throttle to fully open, the pedal moves about this much. So we needed to move about this much. So he is going to do some adjusting there, and hopefully we can adjust it enough to make it work. If not, then we have to basically make an extra piece that goes on the adjustment piece now to get more adjustments out of it. So he's going to work on that, bleed the clutch, bleed the front brakes, and then it's a couple tinking around with a bunch of other little stuff, and fire up today and put it on scales, get suspension done, nut and bolt, driving at the track tomorrow. We don't want to talk about the past 4 hours. We're just going to forget about that, right?
Right.
Okay. But hey, 4 hours later, brakes and clutch are bled. Time for alignment. Carlton's got out my new fancy gauge, Counter Gamer gauge. Gonna be pretty rad, because I've never known exactly what my camber is, and I just known that it's way too much.
Yeah.
So now we'll be able to dial it in, and it's perfect timing because base alignment's going on and getting everything set up. So let's see what he's got. Where's our camber? What do you press? Caster?
Yeah.
Or that camber?
Yeah. It's 5.5
Oh,
now.
5.5 when we're hanging. Okay, so sorry.
No, yeah. I just.
Oh, we did just adjust it. You're right. So that's your camber adjustment right there. Right now we're locking down caster up top, making sure the plates are all the way forward. Locking down caster and then adjusting caster at the FDF arm down below. That way we set our caster both sides, set our camber both sides, and then we can be square on the front. Then when you go to the rear, square the rear, go down on scales, adjust ride heights. So little bit of a tedious process, but it's got to get done and go out for the first time.
I've been staring at a road, too scared to follow. Even as the sunset descends on me, I stay unmoved to change the view of where it leads. Of where it leads. I've been staring at a road. I've been staring at a road. I've been staring at
All right, you guys, update time. It is Thursday morning. Day we're supposed to go take over to the track. Uncle Steve and I, we were up till about 3:30 in the morning, just dialing in the suspension as much as we can. We did all of our adjustments on our caster and camber, on our FDF kit, and we think we got it into a position that's going to be good enough for a baseline. Kind of going back and forth trying to figure out how we were going to set it up. So we still got some more to do. We got to adjust toe and a few more things. I haven't looked at the list yet. I'm extremely tired. But we also got the rear end all squared away. Everything's set back here. And then we adjusted some ride heights on the scale. So got all that squared away. We had a couple issues yesterday, obviously with bleeding the brake and the clutch. But we got that figured out. And we also had an issue with the power steering pump. While we were trying to do the alignment, we were cranking it over under load and kind of holding it there. And we think that that caused the relay to pop. So, because usually, if you think about it, we're not just staying static position and cranking that power steering pump as much. So I think it just put a little bit too much load onto it and actually popped the relay. And you can see on this relay where it got a little hot. So got the other one in there, and it's the only other one I had, my spare. So hopefully it's good to go. We don't see anything else happen there. But yeah, so we got a few more things to do. We got to adjust toe, and I think we wanted to put it back on scales to check a little bit more of the adjustment, because we were going to get the roll-off stands for the scales and actually level it out a bit more, because this floor here isn't perfectly level. So we're going to do that, and then we just have some tune-up on the engine and full nut and bolt on the rest of the suspension, and I'm going to mark all of it so we can check torque super easy. Then once we start the car up, we will work on the throttle pedal, which is going to be a big one. So we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, so I'm going to get started on getting some tie rods pulled out. Okay, so I got the tie rods adjusted. Made my mark on the outers here so we know our adjustment face. And I think I got them pretty close. Just a little past straight up while it's hanging in the air, and then that'll allow us to have enough adjustability. So that'll probably still be something we mess with once we're at the track and we throw toe plates on it. We typically don't throw toe plates on the cars here in the shop just because of the level of the floor. So once we get to the racetrack, we'll throw it on there and see if it works. So yeah, I can add some clutch fluid and start wrenching on the suspension, getting wrenches on everything and marked up, so that way we can check torque.
I've been staring at a road. listen to me. I see the stars that light the sky, and I wonder where I fit in a life. Into life.
So Carlton's finishing up the throttle cable. It's starting to get a little bit better.
I don't know.
Okay, sounds good. Sure. Carlton's got a lot of emotions right now because we're about to go out for the first drive. So he's working on finishing up the throttle cable. Steve's working on setting tow, and I'm mounting up a couple tires, and I'm going to start loading up the truck. So getting really close. Okay, finished getting the truck loaded up. Got to load up the golf cart because I ain't walking to take video. Throttle cable is good enough, buddy. Good enough? Okay. Throttle cable's good enough. Tow set. Changing the jets. Ready to fire it up. We should probably make sure it goes in gear and spins before we put it down on the ground. I know you're nervous. It's alright, dude. It's alright. We just got to get out there. Even if you don't get all crazy today.
Yeah.
Just got to shake it down today. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to make it happen.
Good.
No brakes at all.
No.
Okay, seating in the brakes. We didn't do anything other than seat them in, so hopefully that should work. We'll see. That's better.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, they smell like brakes. Go again.
Now Uncle Carlton is driving around the block.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Is
Is he seasoning the brakes?
yes, he's seasoning the brakes.
All right, quick update. We're loaded. So, quick little recap of what we just went down. A lot of work on the throttle cable. We finally got enough to where he can drive it. He went and tried to back out, and reverse is not working. So we got to work on that, try to figure that out. We pushed it out, drove around the blocks once, and he had no brakes. Well, they just weren't seated in yet. So told him to drive around the block 3 more times, seated in the brakes. They're good to go now. Right front seems to be locking up a little bit, kind of hanging up, not locking up. I shouldn't say that. It's kind of hanging a little bit, and that's the, or excuse me, left front, which is the old caliper, not the brand new one that we just put on. So might have to swap that out. Not a big deal. Still not going to hold us back from testing. Went to go put the car on the trailer. It was too wide, so I had to back it off, take the spacers off, put the wheels back on. So finally got it on the trailer, and we have our 1-minute drive over to the track. So already paid for Carlton, paid for Joe because they weren't going to make it by the time the gate closed or by the time the office closed. So got them paid. We get our wristbands from the EMT, and time for this guy to drive. Finally, let's go. Well, couple weird looking drift cars over here might be joining us. Is that a Ferrari 458 and a Lamborghini Lamborghini Huracan with a dude just sitting in the trailer. Nice. He's gonna go take a heater in the porta potty. All right, we had to replace the left front caliper because it was hanging up pretty bad. Thanks, Jace, for grabbing that. That's all replaced. He's gonna poop real quick. Travis Reeder's doing a couple laps, and then he's gonna go out, do a couple rips down the front stretch, go around the oval, scrub everything in, and do a couple figure eights. So pretty exciting. Here we go. Here he goes. Car is on the move. Should be good to go. Excited to see this thing out here. Not gonna be anything crazy for the first go, just ripping through some gears, scrubbing in the tires, doing all that, and then maybe a couple of quick figure eights and call that good. So here he comes.